One of the advantages of having a lounge in your workshop is if you want to, you can just turn around and watch Puss in Boots. Well, while the rib is over there drying, I cut a bunch of wing rib caps and geodetic, so we can go ahead and start this. This here board has two ribs. Here's one and one over there. In the center here is a this is the rib form for the Miranda 14H. If anybody's interested in building that, I have all of the ribs for the stabilizer, horizontal stabilizer, and the elevator, all the different, and all the nose rib. And not only that, I've got the spars. It's a heavy-duty bush plane, two-place, and it's got two spars forward and aft for just this horizontal stabilizer. So anyways, if you're interested in that, that's probably about 100 hours worth of work. So if anybody wants to do it, let me know. I'll send you this. They need cleaned up, of course, but other than that, I mean, that's a lot of work. And I have all the plans for it. So the first thing we're going to do is get all the angles and lengths for these geodetic that go across here. It's kind of difficult to do it. I've never successfully just cut them all and put them in cups like I see other people do, because if you don't get them just the exact right length, you know, even a little bit deeper slot from one run to the next, and they go in at a different angle, most of the time I've always cut them as I was building, and that seemed to be faster. I just lay it right, put it in the slot, lay it right over it, and maybe even pencil in the line and then snap it right down. Seemed to be quicker, but this time I'm going to try to do what other people do, see if I can do it. Well, I got all the angles, but to get the lengths, and I've tried this before, never just worked out real well, but I'm going to give it another shot, because I see a lot of other people doing it. So the first thing you got to do is get your geodetic in here, because you do have to know how deep your slots are, because just 10 or 15 thousandths deeper on the slots makes a big difference in some of these angles. Now you got to use these tight little clamps that I get these from Home Depot. They're not even a buck, like 80 cents a piece, 75, something like that, I think. Anyways, you got to use these strong ones, or even these up here on the radius. Now, this is commercial white ash, so it is going to take quite a bit more. But the other thing is, on the nose of this, you do have to bring it on past the vertical line here. Like, this is the end of the rib, but you need this here out here to bend these, keep that radius going on down around. Now, there we go. Yeah, let's go ahead and put one right here for the time being, but there's going to be a piece of geodetic that goes in there, so we'll put one of these smaller clamps. In fact, let's see, that's probably strong enough clamp to go right there. Not big enough to go over this block of wood. Huh. Oh, I've got see the biters? See the biters? I got them bent in. So for something else I was doing, where I was going over a 45 or 90 degree angle, and I wanted to pinch the two together. So might be able to just, yeah, there we go. Just flatten, well, I flattened one of them. Okay, now it'll do it. Okay. But anyways, you got to get this in here good and tight so that we can measure, just to get to the point that we can measure the how long the geodetics need to be in this. And I like to put one more right. I guess they're all the same. All right, so and where the tail meets right here, you just mark that angle on either the top one or the bottom. I usually do the bottom one, and then just use your knife saw and cut that angle. Doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you want it pretty close. They usually mesh up pretty good, but you're going to put a piece of geodetic in between the two of them. That's going to be your real strength. And then there's further buildup later on too. So the next thing you need to do is, after you get the upper and lower cap strip in, is do the leading edge of the nose of the using the cap strip. Make the nose of this. I've had some luck. How did I do that? Boy, I can't even remember. Maybe it was near the end. Yeah, better use a saw on this. Somehow I remember doing it with my snips, where I was able to snip it right off, and that worked well. Now, if this was Sitka spruce or white pine, which is a good substitute, this is about 2 swipes through this stuff. Hey, by the way, I'm not a huge advocate of using commercial white ash. It's what I use because it's super strong, but it's difficult to work with. It adds weight. There's a lot of negatives to commercial white ash, but it's what I use. And as you can see, this here would be just blazing right through that if it was any kind of fir or spruce. But I'll watch it go right through my other rib. Oh shit, I did. Okay, that don't matter. We're just setting up right now anyways. Okay, now you got to fit this. Make sure it's, and this is where you go get a piece of sandpaper, because you want this fitting real snug. You don't want any. Okay, so the heel of it could use a little more off, but mostly just shorter. This is 80 grit roll, or just 80 grit sandpaper. And you just do a little at a time, because once it's too short, well, then it's too short. And we got it right there. So, and that should reach across there. There we go. Yep. All right. That's in there. It's held in there tight. There's a little tiny piece of geodetic that you'll cut right here for this corner. Can you see my finger? No. Here, I'll show you. Right in that corner, right there, you put a little triangle piece in there, or about a 60-degree angle between there and there, with the grain going like this linearly. So I've got these numbered, 1, 2, for the order that they lay down. So which one goes over top each one. It's not a real critical, it just makes it easier to keep order. And anyways, I just lay this over top of it, and I go about halfway through the rib cap and mark it, because my strip, my slot, I mean, is about half the width of this. And I'm just guesstimating right now, so we'll now cut this. Yeah, there's a piece.
Hello, Papa.
Hi, buddy. How you doing? This piece might be good enough to go up in there. I'll save that just in case. And then we've got a gauge on this thing. Let's go ahead and use it. All right. Now we'll see how well it goes in. And we might have to shave this to get it to fit. It's a little tight. Yep, somebody's here. Want to go see who that is, Nick? Okay, it fits. All right, fits in the slot, but tight. Perfect. Oh my gosh.
Who's here?
I don't know. You got to see this. Oh, perfect. So coming into the second bay of this rib, one thing you want to be, you can tell my grandchildren helped out with my rib building here, but coming into the second bay here, make sure that you don't get this too long, even by a little bit. This here is the space that the rib or spar, the main spar, rides in, and that's 1 inch wide, so make sure it's shy of 1 inch. Now, if it is, I mean, a little bit long, no big deal. Chop off the tip, and because that's a pretty long run with glue in it, that's plenty good. Just cut that tip off so that you got at least 1 inch gap there. You don't want to be fighting it to get that on there.